I can thoroughly understand why Elvis loved having JD come into his bedroom here at Graceland, and they sat together there and talked about life and the Bible and what actually we were all here for, the real reason of being in this life, and what was going to be after this life and how much better it's going to be. And I got to share in a lot of that with JD.
They had that bond, that thing that cemented all the edges, and it sanded all the things where everything was smooth. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. I never quite understood it when it was going on, because I think that old hindsight thing comes in. But now, as I look back, I see respect in its deepest form on both sides.
On August 16th, 1977, the world was stunned at the loss of the greatest rock and roll legend of all time. And so too was one of his closest friends, JD Sumner.
We're back live in front of the Graceland Mansion here, the home of Elvis Presley, as the vigil continues. And with me, if you haven't recognized him already, is one of Elvis Presley's favorites, JD Sumner of the Stampner Quartet. JD, we at Channel 5 know how close you and Elvis were, and we all extend our condolences. When was the last time you saw Elvis, JD?
Well, in the last week. These are just things that we don't understand. I can't believe it. I've seen him 3 times, and I can't believe it. It's just one of those things that you and I could be dead in the next 5 minutes. God called, and we were supposed to be in Portland, Maine tonight, and he had a bigger appearance to make.
How long had you been with Elvis?
Since 1972. Of course, I've been knowing Elvis since he was 14 years old. I used to let him in the back door of Gospel Sings when I was with the Blackwood Brothers here in Memphis. And we've just been close friends since then. I sang at his mother's funeral, and as sad as it's going to be, I got to sing it here.
I was going to say, we understand that you will sing at the funeral tomorrow. What kind of songs will you sing, JD?
Well, the songs that he loved to hear. We've sung for him many times, and we'll sing the songs, the gospel songs that he loved to hear. I mean, his favorites.
I remember when he got the call from Vernon to come to Memphis and help plan the funeral. He was in shock. I mean, he was just, you know, it was like losing a member of the family. They had been very close, and he knew that you know, the world had lost probably the most important entertainer of our times, but to him he was also losing this young kid that he had watched grow up and turn into this superstar.
We opened Graceland in June of '82, kind of on a wing and a prayer. There was a record, an acetate on Elvis's turntable, and I can remember thinking, well, that'll be interesting to, what was the last record that he had on his turntable when he died, because everything was untouched, and it was the Stamps. One thing we knew was to leave it there and not touch it, and so it stayed on that turntable for years and years and years.
Despite the death of Elvis, the Stamps continued recording, traveling, and making numerous television appearances.
There forever to be safe in his fold. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where the Son of God is alive. You'll find me there on streets so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright, with Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where with him I will ever abide. Here on earth we seems so heavy, but in heaven no one will be sad. Mom and Dad will be singing, heaven's praises be ringing for the dearest friend I ever had. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where the Son of God is alive. You'll find me there on streets so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright. With Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where with him I will ever abide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where the Son of God is alive. You'll find me there on streets so pretty, made of gold, so pure and so bright. With Jesus, the one who gave me the victory, who led me across the divide. Some morning you'll find me touring that city where with him I will ever abide.
The Stamps disbanded for a short time in 1980. However, later that same year, a new group was formed, a group of old friends, legends, together again.
After I left the Blackwood Brothers in late 1980, and helped with J.D. and Hova Lister and Shake Hess to form the Masters 5. J.D. had disbanded the Stamps Quartet temporarily, and Hovey was having personnel trouble with the Statesman, and J.D. was filling in with him singing bass. And Jake Hess had left the Imperials and had been in California singing a few years and had just moved back to Nashville. And so they got together and decided to form a group and called me and wanted to know if I was interested. The group was known as the Masters 5 then, with Rosie Roselle and Jake, J.D. Hovey, and me.
Once I was sinking in sin, I so much trouble within, but a ladder was sent down from heaven after my sins were forgiven. Started out for higher ground to climb the ladder round by round. Oh well, I'm climbing higher and I won't come down. First round was regeneration, second round justification, the third a happy confession, and then the Holy Ghost took possession. The next round was great tribulation that leads your soul to glorification. Oh well, I'm climbing higher and I won't come down. I'm gonna climb till I pass the sun, moon, and stars, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, and Mars. Bid farewell to this old house of clay, and then I go a-running up the Milky White Way. I'm a-climbing round by round. I'm so high I'll never come down. Still climbing round by round. I'm climbing for higher ground. Well, 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 well. I'm gonna climb till I pass the sun, moon, and stars, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, and Mars. Bid farewell to this old house of clay, and then I go a-running up the Milky White Way. I'm a-climbing round by round. I'm so high I'll never come down. Still climbing round by round, climbing for higher ground.
Thanks so much for watching this clip from New Haven Collections. For full episodes of some fantastic shows, go to www.countryroadtv.com. And if you'll use the code New Haven, you'll get a month free. Also be sure to check out our friends Summer and Bray. They're a great part of our YouTube community. Be sure to click the box above to go to their channel. Again, thanks so much for watching.